Hello, everyone, and welcome to our live stream. Today's question is, appropriately so, what is mindfulness and what is mindful living? So, mindfulness has many different definitions, and the one that I'm going to share with you is the one that I have coined and I teach through. Mindfulness is being aware and accepting of our present moment experience with curiosity and compassion. Being aware and accepting of our present moment experience with curiosity and compassion. So I used 5 key words. First was awareness. Awareness means when we're not on autopilot. It is only in awareness that we realize that we actually have a choice. We don't need to react. We can respond. The second word that I used was presence. Presence means when my attention meets my body. So I'm sitting here talking to you and my attention is also here. So where else could my attention be? Well, it could be in the past. Any time that has already taken place is a past. 20 years ago, 20 minutes ago, 20 seconds ago is a past. Or it could be in the future, something that hasn't taken place. Am I saying that we should never go to the past or never go to the future? No, we do need to visit our past. I call it going there with a visitor's visa and a very limited visa that will expire. We go to the past to actually learn. I want to know what worked. I want to know what didn't work, what gave me pleasure, what didn't give me pleasure, what really made me suffer, what would I repeat, what would I stop, what would I continue doing, and what would I start doing that I'm not doing right now. So I call it different L's. We go there to lament usually, miss what we liked and we don't have it anymore, or really be worried about something that did take a place and we didn't really feel good about it. So we go there to lament, but we can go there to learn. It's a different L. And the same for future. I mean, if we didn't plan this, if I didn't plan it, I wouldn't be doing this on time. We want to plan, but we want to make sure that we plan in a very contained way. Sometimes we go from planning to over planning to over planning, and then over planning. You get the picture. By then, I'm just so worried and anxious that I can't enjoy whatever is happening. So it's a different W. We go there to worry. We need to go there to wonder, really be open. I've done what I can do to plan, but now I'm there in sense of wonder, in sense of like, I wonder what's going to take place for the future. So that's presence, being here in this moment where my body is and my attention is there too. The third word that I used, keywords that I used, is acceptance. That's a difficult one. People think acceptance means agreement, and it doesn't. Acceptance means, for instance, today is Thursday, and it is the time that it is. Whether I like it or I don't like it, it is what it is. So I need to move forward with this fact that I cannot change. It is not passiveness. Acceptance doesn't mean agreement, and it doesn't even mean passiveness. It means that actually I move forward, knowing the facts with a sense of knowingness. That's acceptance. The fourth word that I used was curiosity. The moment I say curiosity, I think about children because they're so curious. Curiosity is a sense of openness of the mind. And when the mind is not open, so to speak, when I sort of am tense around what I think I know or I believe is true, then I become very judgmental. But when I have a sense of openness, either I think I don't fully know, or I say, I even may think I do know, but I'm also interested to know what you know and what you believe. So that becomes curiosity, openness of the heart. Openness of the mind. The next one is actually the openness of the heart. And the next one is compassion. And that's the word, that's the concept, that's a very key concept that sometimes is missing from the definition of mindfulness. And I believe it is such an important part of mindfulness, without which we could be a very shrewd criminal, we will be fully present, we'll be very curious, we'll be quite aware of what's going on, and very accepting of the fact, but without the compassion, it wouldn't be really mindfulness. So compassion is when our kindness or open-heartedness meets our suffering or somebody else's suffering. When suffering is there and we stay really kind, that is compassion. Because sometimes, as I always say, present may not be pleasant. And we need to have a sense of compassion. I'm very aware of what's going on, but what's going on is very, very challenging. I need to stay compassionate. Compassionate towards myself, compassionate towards everybody else that is involved, and compassionate toward the world that I live in. So that's mindfulness. Now let's move to mindful living. Many may just think this is great definition and it's a great practice for when we're meditating, which is true, and it's very crucial. Meditation is a huge tool for mindful living, but on its own, it's not sufficient. It is necessary at times, but it's not sufficient. So I may be a great meditator. On the cushion, I'm very present and I'm very aware and I have compassion and I have curiosity. But get me driving on the roads, especially in the city I live in Los Angeles, then I'm completely not mindful. When we take elements, maybe all of them one day, but some at least, of our mindfulness definition and apply it to everyday life, then we are actually mindfully living. How does that look like? That looks like this, that I'm driving mindfully, that I'm arguing mindfully, that I am really going through challenging times mindfully. I deal with losses in a mindful way. That means that I am living in a mindful way. That's very challenging, but that's very important. And the danger of something like mindfulness that has become so fashionable is that we only do it through words. So when you look at my vocabulary, I'm very mindful because the vocabulary has become fashionable. But when you look at my actions, you see very little mindfulness there. We need to make sure, even though vocabulary is very important, that it doesn't stop at words. It really continues after we develop a very mindful vocabulary. So that's it for this week. That was mindful living and mindfulness. And I look forward to your future questions and hopefully my future answers. Thank you so much for joining us. Be well and stay curious.